make you, or I'm going to teach you how to make pretzels. Now, the people love these, love these, as do I. You can make them into pretzel bites. I've wrapped them around hot dogs, make pretzel dogs. Well, I've made pretzel rolls, I made pretzels. So, but it's really pretty easy. Excuse me. All right, so I got 3 cups of hot water in here. And then I'm gonna put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm doing a double batch. I normally do a triple or a quadruple batch because people love these and they go pretty fast. All right, so I've got 2 tablespoons of sugar. I have got 4 teaspoons of kosher salt. And I will put the recipe right down in the comments. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 teaspoons of kosher salt. And then I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of dry yeast. I'm gonna start stirring that, let that yeast start activating. And then I'm gonna be putting in 4 ounces of butter. And it says melted, but I just use softened because with your hot water, it works well. Four ounces is a half a stick. You know how I measure. All right, the last thing that's gonna go in is the flour. And it says approximately 4.5 cups. So we're gonna put in approximately 8 cups. You can always put more in. I always tend to put a little less in. This is about 5. All the way to the top. 5. Overflowed a little. That's about 3. All right, we're gonna watch this beating here. All right, you can see that's incorporating the flour. I also have a little extra water on hand just in case it's too dry. It's looking pretty good. So it's starting to clean the sides of the bowl. But you do want this to be a pretty soft dough. You don't want it really tight, if you will. So you want it sticking to the bowl just a little bit at the bottom, which I think as it gets incorporated, it will. Okay, if you see it's starting to stick at the bottom there, I think it's sticking a little bit too much for my liking. I'm going to add probably about a half a cup more flour. Okay, I just added about a half a cup more flour. Let's see how this is doing on the edges here. Okay, so now it's been beating a little longer, and now it's completely cleaning the sides of the bowl. But I think as that flour gets incorporated a little bit more, it'll start sticking a little bit, and that's what I want to see. Okay, it's looking pretty good. You see how it's nice and smooth? Okay. Just about perfect right here. I had a little extra water just in case I needed it. Got some flour, but now I'm just gonna take it off of the dough hook, spray it with Pam, and then cover it with just a towel to let it rise for about an hour. All right, let me show you this. That look perfect. You see how it's cleaned the sides of the bowl? I'm just gonna take that off, like so. We're doing Oktoberfest with our friends Pete and Kim tonight, so I'm super excited. So I made German chocolate cake. So I've never made that before, so we'll find out how that tastes. And then I'm gonna make pretzels. Okay, so I spray all the top. See, it's all nice and greasy now. And then I just flip it. I'll spray the bottom. Flip it and spray one more time because you don't want it sticking to the bowl. There we go. I'll cover that with a towel and we'll come back in about an hour. Okay, so number 1, do not be jealous of my Oktoberfest shirt. And I'm sorry that you all do not have a friend as good as I do that would buy me such gorgeous Oktoberfest shirt. So you're gonna deal with that on your own. But what we're doing now is we're going to get these pretzels ready to cook. So I'm getting out my baking soda. I'm gonna get a pot. I like a flattish pot because you're gonna put water in that, put 2/3 cup of baking soda, and that's the piece that gets your pretzels really crispy. I'm turning on my oven. I've got a couple of them. I'm turning this one on to 450. The other one runs a little hotter, so I'll probably just turn that one on to 400. Okay, so I'm gonna get a pot, and I'm gonna set you guys right here. I think this will work, maybe. There we go. So you guys can see what I'm doing. See? I know, Oktoberfest. Okay, see, medium-ish size pot, but it's flat. And so I'm gonna fill it probably 2/3 of the way with water. Okay, sorry, I have my pans out. I've got my water started to boil. I've got my ovens on. I've got parchment paper on my pans. That's a lot of peas. All right, now, look at this gorgeous dough. So big and floofy. So I'm gonna just pull this right out onto the floured surface. And I'm going to cut these into 8-ounce balls. So I've got a little weight right here. That's not my weight, my scale right here. All right, we're good to go here, I think. Perfect. And I'll just line them up over here. 7.9. What do you think of that? All right, I'll show you what I have here. Okay, so I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 8-inch dough balls, and then this is 2 ounces. So that would be like, maybe I'll make a roll out of that or something. I'm gonna make 4 pretzels, and I think I'll make the rest into pretzel bites, so I'll show you how to do that. So the key thing to know here is to not handle your dough a lot. So you're gonna handle it with very light touch. I've got just a teeny bit of flour. Sometimes I actually spray this with nonstick spray because it allows me to roll it a little better. But I'm just gonna make it like into a log, like this. And then I'm just gonna, as I roll, I'm pulling my hands out. So I'm very lightly touching it. Okay. I'm gonna try to get this one as long as I can because I really want some really authentic size pretzels if I can. You want long, long, long. I've got a puppy back here. Something's going on with Cooper. I don't know why. It's clearly traumatic. Oh, oh, oh. And then sometimes you get a hole. We just go back and I am going to spray this down actually. Because it just rolls a little bit better. Yep. It's a little sticky. Oh, and it looks like I need more Pam. All right. Just goes a little further. So I'm going to roll them all, and then I will show you how to make them into pretzels. You see that right there? Okay, so I've got that all rolled out. I'm going to do the other 7, and then I'll show you. All right, I'm going to show you one more time, because I want to show you the difference of me rolling it with, oh my word, this will stand up. Rolling it with a little bit of spray versus flour, and how much easier it rolls out. Then you're just going to spray that a little bit. I'm going to take this into the log. I'm gonna make it nice and long. Then you just start rolling. But because it's a little sticky, it actually is easier to roll. You just get it as long as you can. You have a nice big pretzel. I'll put that back there and we'll make them all at once. Okay, so water is starting to, you can see the difference with the baking soda. It looks clearer than it does without baking soda. Just so if you forget if you put the baking soda in or not, that's a good telltale sign. And turn that down to about medium. And I make pretzel. Now, of course, this is backwards, so, and I don't know how to make it. I'm only so tech savvy here. So you're gonna take. Let's see if I'm gonna have room here. Move all these guys back here. Because once you get it, it's really easy. Okay. All right. So you take it and you twist it and you twist it again and then you bring it down. Okay. So now it looks like a mess. I don't know if you can see it right here. But then it dropped. I need a professional photographer. This is ridiculous. All right, here we go. All right, see, it's like, oh, it looks terrible. Oh no. All you do, and let it sit a little too long because I dropped you guys. Look, it's like a pretzel. What? All right, so I'm gonna show you again. So I'm taking this, popping it right in there. It's gonna go in there for 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the second side. And you want a slotted spoon to take it out. All right, so let's do a pretzel again here. Here we go. All right, so you have both ends, you cross them once, you cross them twice, put the tails down, and you fix it. And there's the pretzel. Look at that. All right, so I'm gonna flip that over here. Let me show you. Over here, we have them in the water. I'm gonna flip that one over. Oops, I have some pans with parchment paper. I don't know if you can see that. Parchment paper over here. I'm going to spray them because these are gonna go right on parchment paper when I bring it out. Okay, so it gets all nice and fat and looks good. Let's see here. Next two in. Make sure this is still boiling, so I'll turn that up. Put these guys in at the same time here. Now, I normally make pretzel bites because lots of people can have them. They're easy, they're fun. We had them at Lydia's wedding, everybody loves them. I'm gonna show you, it's so easy, I just chop them up. But I'll show you what I do. Okay, I'm gonna flip those guys. Alright, all you do for pretzel bites, this nice long pretzel here, and I normally cut it in half, cut it in half, cut it in half, just so they're teeny, tiny, small pretzel bites. They're not the same size ever. People love them, love them, love them. All right, let me get these guys out of the way. Let's go back over here for a second, okay? So I'm going to rearrange this guy and this guy. Now I'll bring these guys out. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, and then put this one upside down like that. Oops. Remember that the water's hot and boiling. I've got my egg wash over here. Egg wash, just egg over water. Brush these with egg. And then I'll probably shape them a little more while I'm here too. Brushing them with egg gives them that nice, beautiful brown color. Okay, so let's get these guys looking more like a pretzel too. Okay. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some salt on them. I've had a hard time finding actual pretzel salt. Most pretzel salt I buy is just kosher salt. I'm going to put them in the oven for 10 minutes. Okay, I'm putting all the little pretzel bites in. I don't flip these guys because there's too many of them and they're just sort of kind of floating around. Now these guys I will sprinkle with everything bagel seasoning. Yum! I'm just doing a couple more back here. Just chopping them up into 1 inch to 1/2 inch bites. Take them out. I sprayed the parchment paper. And I'll just continue doing this until all these guys are done. The other thing I've done with these is I have used cinnamon sugar on them too. People love it, and then make icing to put them in. Oh my yummy. Okay, so I have the pretzel bites here, and all I do is I just dot them with a little bit of egg. I've got one pan already in. This is my last pan to go in. And I added another 3 minutes to that to the pretzels. for your Oktoberfest. Woohoo! I will just take my kosher salt. You can pinch it if you want. I tend to just sprinkle my kosher salt over them. Just like that. Look, guys. There you have it. That was about 16 minutes, just so you know. But there, look at the bottom too. Oh, looks so gorgeous. Oh, they're hot. Just came out of the oven. That's your pretzel. And this is what your little pretzel bites look like. All nice and brown. Dip them in some honey mustard. Oh,